Hello, everybody. This is Simon Lovell, and welcome to the next Google Hangout for Marketing for Movember. And in today's, I'm actually really depressed now. I can't reveal my tash, and I have an amazing guest in Vanessa Horn from the It Factor Academy. Vanessa, how are you?
Hey!
Vanessa, I don't. It's the first day where I had to shave my beard, and I'm having problems with my confidence right now. You need to help me get over this.
I have no doubt in 30 days you're going to look just like your little picture right there. That's going to be your real stash.
I'm going to reveal it in just a moment, but
But I am jealous of your onesie. So this is what I have to
full view onesie.
uh, see. I want one. I'm having to make do with this hoodie. Can I get an animal print one?
Sure you can. Vanessa, for the viewers, do you want to let the viewers know where we met and the kind of funny story behind that? And then I'll do the revealing.
Okay. Well, we met at the Underground Summit. What's the official name?
Yeah,
Uh,
underground Yannick's, right?
Yannick's Underground. And I had the pleasure of working, well, and we don't even have our partner in crime here, Mr. Marshall Wayne, who is the one who actually kicked off this entire campaign. And, and what we were doing was creating some marketing pieces for you, some photographs and video, and a Match.com video that came out of that, which was awesome.
Hey, it was a funny Match.com video. It wasn't a serious one, right?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. And
Vanessa,
so,
go down a bit lower because I'm only seeing the top of your head. There we go.
oh, okay.
That's better.
Well, and so we got to meet there and have kicked off an amazing friendship and helped each other in this journey and what we're doing in our work in the world. And so we get to unite today for this special cause, the Movember campaign. And you get to do your great reveal. And in the meantime, we're here to serve and help people with some powerful tactics, tools, strategies that work in marketing. So it's a total win-win, making money for the cause, having fun together, and helping people with their marketing. So I was all for it.
Okay, so I mean, this is only we're on day two, right? So like, it's like you're not even that bad, but because I had to shave, it became a bit more difficult. I don't feel like I can go out the house, but the reveal is done. Now, Vanessa, how do you feel when you see a gentleman with such a masculine piece of facial hair?
I wish that it could be a goatee Movember.
Well, me too.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Well, see, you know what? This is how I'm gonna end up helping to coach all of the clients who come out of the Movember campaign and end up just with mustaches and it impacting their confidence.
Now, if you've just tuned into this and this is the first video you've seen, then the reason this got kickstarted was Marshall Wayne was posting some digital mustaches to help the Movember campaign. So if you want your own digital mustache, then click the link below, hit donate. For $25, you can get your own digital mustache. You can get your own cover line photo done for just $100. And this is for a brilliant, worthy cause. Vanessa has her own, which you can check out over her Facebook page, which is, what's your Facebook page, Vanessa?
Facebook.com/Vanessa Horn 123.
Nice. Vanessa, today we're going to be talking about the it factor. Can you explain for those that don't know you, don't know what you talk about, and really why that's important in business and marketing?
That it factor, that je ne sais quoi, it's that factor that when we see people exuding it in life, we say it turns our heads. It has us say, I'll have what she's having, or I'll have what he's having. And in business, it has people say, I have to work with you. So
Like,
that's
so,
the
so
it factor.
is that like someone seeing me and going, He's wearing a onesie. I have to work with him. He's got a tash on his face. He looks like, really, you wouldn't want to meet him in a dark alley, but I want to work with him.
Well, if anyone's been around you long enough, Simon, when you are in your embodiment of who you are most naturally, you're fun, you are playful, you're yourself, and that is magnetic. It has people say, I want to work with you. And what I love is that you incorporate that into your branding. You don't just try to be as, like everybody else, have pieces that are up that have no distinction of what makes you different from everybody else. But instead, you infuse your personality into what you do, and it absolutely is what draws people to you. And stash or no stash, it will not hinder them from coming.
What do you think holds most people back from getting and putting themselves out there in terms of their own brand? Because I talk to a lot of business owners, and I'm trying to get them away from having like a brochure website, incorporate them into their brand, and people hold back behind their brand and logo, don't they? What do you think really is the thing that stops people from doing that? Fear? Is it about rejection?
Well, this is what I believe, and this is why I don't like the word personal development. I'm a coach. I work with people and helping them create what they want most out of life and getting the results that they want most in life from the inside out. But we believe that personal development means I have to be something I'm not. I have to be some future version of myself that I'm going to grow into. Instead, I believe the best of us is already inside of us. And it's basically revealing it. How can I embrace
Vanessa, come down lower. We've just got the top of your head. Like the seat. Remove this. There we go.
You don't want to just see my neck?
No, higher. We need the hot camera higher. There we go. Perfect. So you don't like personal development. You prefer we use a different language.
That we really, when we come to know that the best of us is already inside of us, and so in our branding, in our marketing, if we will allow ourselves permission to just be ourselves, then that's when we're going to attract really the best clients to us, the people who resonate with who we are. And this is why I love so much the book Start With Why, because if we start with why we're doing what we're doing, if we are really staying in tune to what we're trying to create most, and then we allow the freedom of our own expression to come out, we will draw the right people. As a matter of fact, I have signed up people for programs. I have worked with people to have them sign up clients into their programs, and they didn't even have to know all of the details of how it's going to work out, because they're resonating so strongly with their why about what the work they were up to in the world. They were resonating so strongly with who they were as a person. They said, I have to work with you. That's the kind of response that people can get when they're tapped into themselves and allowing the fullest expression and bringing it into their branding and into their marketing.
Personally, I feel that I have kind of gotten better at that, but I've still got a bit of room for improvement, right? And I think we all have. So what would be the first kind of steps that people should take to get more towards the it factor than they are now? But before you answer that, I want you to apply what is the fake mustache.
What is the fake mustache?
Well, you've got a pen, right? And you're going to draw on your mustache.
Oh, am I going to do it right now?
Yeah, for those watching. And as you apply, you can answer the question.
Okay, well, see, Simon is so good at what he does. He was saying, okay, you've got to draw a mustache. How do you say it with your English accent? Mustache. Mustache. You have to put a mustache on. And I was like, how am I going to do it? All I've got is a Sharpie. But no, Mr. Simon Lovell, he said, you've got to do your mustache. What about with the eyeliner? And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're genius. You are the mustache genius. And so you deserve such credit. And so here, let's see.
As you're applying, how do people get closer to the it factor, like you are right this second?
First of all, the mustache gets you really in touch. How is that? I think Marshall Wayne gave me a better mustache than this.
And you have to walk around for the rest of the day with this on, right?
Oh, really? So people say, how did you get that? I said, just donated a couple $100 to the Movember campaign.
Absolutely.
But let me give you an example, Simon. I was running a campaign for a program that I was running, and I was trying to fill. And I spent a couple $1,000s on Facebook ads to drive to this campaign. And as a matter of fact, I had all this fear, like, are people really going to convert? The price of the ads kept going up and up and up. And it was like, okay, we're spending all this money. Are we really going to get the traffic and really help the people that I want to and fill the program? I was at a breakdown point because we built up 3 months of work to really get this funnel honed in, to spend the money on the ads, hire the team to do all of that. And I was feeling like, is this really going to work? And I was in tears, feeling like, okay, I want this to work. And a lot of marketers will say, okay, I'm trying to do what I'm told. I'm trying to do what I know will work and get the clients that I'm trying to help. But what about the times when you feel like it's a failure? I thought, this is an epic failure. And my husband turned to me and he said, babe, what if you're going through this so that you could help your clients? What do you need to hear right now? And I made the mistake that a lot of people make in marketing or in business, trying to build a successful business. And I said, I have to know the ABCs 1, 2, 3. I just need to know what I need to do next and do it now. Well, in the middle of that, one of my dear friends and somebody who is a coach to me in this industry called me, and I told him what was going on. And he said, Vanessa, I won't use the exact word that he said.
Please do.
Hey, we got audiences we need to be mindful of here. But I said, I'm trying to give the market what it wants. I'm trying to give them what they want. And he said, the market. If this were the last year of your life, what do you have to do? What do you have to share? And I said, I have to share the message that's in my book, a book that I have not published because I wasn't certain how it fit into that particular marketing plan. And that book has to do with this, with the it factor of people knowing their worth, because people hold back because they have their own judgments and shames about who they are, and so they don't allow themselves to show up in the glory of who they are. Instead, if we can choose and say, you know what, all of who I am, the parts of myself that I'm tempted to judge, like you, Simon, okay, I got this mustache. What kind of message, am I really going to go out there and, one, turn off the women, two, have clients say, what the heck is he up to? But instead say, you know what, this is who I am, and I love all of the parts of me, and so I can go out and trust that I can be myself. And so this is what happened. All these things happened, turned around in my marketing campaign when I got in touch with what I wanted most. If it were the last year of my life, what would I do? And so that got infused into my marketing, because it wasn't just what the market wanted, but it was getting in touch with what is that why inside of me? What is it that I have to do? What is that message I have to convey? That it's worth failing. It's worth doing even if I failed. When you can get so in touch with that, you infuse that into your marketing and into your business. No lie, I was so in touch with that. Our ads and everything that came out of that, I posted one post on Facebook sharing this that I had been through, on the verge of tears to the turnaround and triumph, getting booked on 12 television stations for the message of my book, seeing so many people resonating with it. I got as many requests for strategy sessions from that one post of being myself, letting it hang out and being real, as I did from spending $2,000 on ads. It turned into $30,000 in a week's time of new coaching clients. So what holds people back is feeling like, well, if I am not fully myself, if I don't do things as ABC 1, 2, 3, then I won't get the results. But in reality, people are hungry to know who's the real you. David Henry Thoreau said, most men, the massive men, live quiet lives of desperation. And the it factor is, how can you show up so fully you that it breathes life into people and has them come alive? And people see that and they say, I have to work with you. I want to be around you.
What would you say one of the first steps is that someone can start if people have got that resistance to that, I don't want to be myself, I've got to hide behind something. What's like maybe an exercise or something they can do just to make that one first step to being and getting a little bit closer?
Well, we had this conversation last night, Simon. Do you recall?
We talking about the bubbles. We got to talk about the bubbles because that's important, like for everybody, I think.
Well, I asked you the question. I said because you were the mustache was impacting you, right? And you were saying, Vanessa, I don't even want to go out like this. And is it okay if we talk openly like this?
Yeah, sure.
And so I said, Simon, what do you want to be remembered for?
Yeah, I remember answering the question. And actually, it's really difficult for me to, when you asked me that question, it took me a while to think about it, right? Because it's not something we get asked a lot.
So that's step number one, is answering that question. What do you want to be remembered for? What did you say?
Oh, you've hit me now because I do. Let me remember. Making a difference in as many people's lives as possible.
You said, I want people to realize their full potential.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you do. You help people through their marketing, through their funnels, through what's inside of them. You help them create their entire marketing to optimize and live their full potential. So was there any surprise when that is part of your gift to the world that there would be a little gremlin or a thought that would be coming into your mind tempting you to hold you back in your full potential? The thought that says, what if I'm, the mustache, or the judgments of, why am I lacking in confidence to do this work, or to, what's holding me back, questioning that there could be anything the matter with you. That is, when you have a gift of helping people live their full potential, it is no surprise you're going to be challenged in that very area.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the bubbles. Let's talk about the bubbles.
Yeah, the bubbles is great about the little thoughts that we have go in our head all the time, right? And if we can notice those and decide to pop them, then it can really help us, right?
Yeah. So there's a distinction between having a thought and believing it to be true. So the way the analogy I give for this, and I wish I had bubbles with me, some for my boys, but it's like, imagine somebody blowing bubbles. And you have these bubbles that are floating around in the air. Those are like your thoughts. And you can notice the thoughts that you get tempted to believe. And the thoughts might be, can I really go out there with this message? Am I really equipped for this work? Am I good enough? Is there something wrong with me? Why am I lacking in confidence? Like, all of us have a thought that tries to come into our life and tempt us. And it ends up holding us back from really getting our message out there, really marketing wholeheartedly, really having people step up to the transformation in their lives by working with us. And it's because there's one of these thoughts that floats along that we try to believe. We try to believe and we hold on to it. But instead, if we just notice, oh, there's that thought again, it's floating by and wants to tempt me to believe it, but I don't choose to believe that it's true. It's a difference of watching the bubble float by versus getting in one of those machines where the whole bubble is around you. It's a distinction that has helped me so much whenever I see a thought go by that is trying to tempt me again to believe that. So I'll give you an example. This coming week, I'm launching my group coaching program. And the thought started floating by as I was creating what I was going to talk to my group about on Monday. Started questioning, oh my gosh, will they really get the transformation that I intend for them out of this? Will they get the results that I know are possible? And all this judgment around what I was creating and my message for them. And I stopped myself. And I was like, there it is. There's the bubble floating by trying to tempt me. And I turned it around by believing, you know what, this is fun. I get to see what parts I get to really love to train others, and I also get to see the people who put it into place and get the results I know will happen when they do this work. So all of us have a bubble that's floating around trying to have us believe that it's true, but it makes a difference whether or not we choose to believe it. So do you want to share what your bubble was that we were talking about yesterday? You can say
Maybe.
no.
I think maybe we'll leave that bubble for another show. But in terms of these bubbles and these different thoughts that we get daily, how do you feel that people can really recognize it? Because when we have these thoughts, normally sometimes we have like these conversations and we can get the ideas, but then when it comes to the actual situation, we don't remember it, right? So how can we kind of trigger and remember? Just having a trigger for the bubbles, or how did you kind of make it happen for you?
Well, it's really that distinction of just because I have a thought, it doesn't make it true. So when I can stop and notice, oh, I'm having a thought, it doesn't make it true. I get to choose what's true. I get to choose if I believe it or not. And that distinction, if we can take that approach to when we notice a certain response inside of us, if we notice like we're feeling overwhelmed, or we're feeling clenched up, or we're feeling like, okay, I'm holding back. If we just notice, okay, what am I believing right now? And if I didn't have that thought, what would I do? And when we recognize what we would do without that thought, that's the real us. And most of the times, every time I do this with my clients, and if there's something that's holding them back, a thought, a bubble that they're believing, and I say, who would you be without that thought? What choice would you make in this scenario if you didn't believe that thought? And every single time, it's a choice that they're more free, they feel more light, they're more carefree, and I'm like, that is the real you. Do you see how that thought is tempting you to believe it, but you get to choose whether or not you are?
So if someone's marketing their business, next week, what are some kind of like golden rules, maybe things from your book that you would like people to stand by? Like, next time you put a blog post out, or next time you do a video, or next time you interact with a customer, next time you feel this, what are some good, like, maybe 4 or 5 steps that they can use as like action steps and rules to go by?
Okay, a couple rules are, start with why. The why is, what is it that you're really trying to, what is the mission, the underlying mission of the work that you're trying to do? So for you, Simon, it's that you're trying to help people live their full potential. Mm-hmm. For me, it's for people to really know their worth and get their message out there in the world. And so whenever we can get to what is the why, and if we go from a place, number 2, come from a place of service. So I write a blog post, I put out a program, I put out a webinar, Google Hangout training that I'm doing. How can I powerfully serve someone else through that work that I'm doing? And when we come from a place of service, it's no longer about, okay, I've got to get clients, I got to get clients, I got to get money, it comes from truly serving. And really money, all it is a manifestation of how are we serving and helping other people. Third, be fully authentic. Incorporate your story, who you really are, into your materials. Because otherwise we don't stand out from the crowd. Everybody is marketing. I mean, there are thousands and thousands of websites that are going up every single day. You can Google any term, any phrase, and find somebody with an opinion on it. How do you stand out from the crowd? It's by being yourself, infusing who you really are and your message into your marketing, and that has people resonate with that. Number 4, I absolutely believe the T, the I in the it factor, the I is inspiration, how we breathe life into other people by being fully ourselves, by embodying what people want most, and the T is transformation. And I believe that if we just inspire people, but we don't have them a call to action of how they can move on what's been moved inside of them, then we're not serving them. So when I have a conversation with somebody, a sales conversation, or what I call a breakthrough session, and I have a conversation with them, I'm saying, okay, what is something I can give them that they can walk away with immediately from this conversation? And secondly, if this is something they want to take action on, I am a disservice to them if I don't offer them the opportunity to take it further. And sometimes people will say, I don't have the money, or, you know, the money challenge. I do not buy it. I do not buy into people's limitations about money, because I believe the biggest transformation has to do with our relationship with money. And so if they can see, I believe in my heart that 80% of their transformation is coming up with the money, because it means that they're committing to themselves. They're stepping up in a bigger way. So those are a couple of key things that I would say are how we embody that in our next work that we put out there. Is that helpful?
Perfect. So when is your book coming out, and how can people get hold of you? And yeah, it's fantastic conversation and ideas.
Well, thank you. The itfactoracademy.com is a way that someone can reach out to me. We do not even have the website up. This is what I'm trying to encourage anybody who's watching this. I did not have a website up. I did not have the content up. I was doing conversations, and in a week's time sold $30,000 worth of coaching without any of that up. Because why? I was pulling out of others what it is that they wanted to create in life and showing them how we would do that together. So I don't even have the full website up for the It Factor Academy. It's coming. But itfactoracademy.com right now gives them an opportunity to have a conversation with me. Let's talk about what is inside of them that they want to get out in the world, and how can the question of their confidence or their worth be a non-issue anymore, and them getting out their work. And then secondly, my book will be out in the spring. I am doing pre-orders for it, but the book is around 3 things. 1, how do we be fully ourselves and not let any confidence or fear or questions about our worth stop us from doing our work in the world? 2, how do we live open-hearted? How do we live in such a way that we're experiencing the connection that we want most in life? And 3rd, how to create success. How do we create what we want most in life? Not based on what everybody else has told us is valuable or important, but we're living a life that's true to ourselves. So that's what that'll be about.
Perfect.
And and the name of the book, I should say, is I'll Have What She's Having.
Perfect. And Vanessa, are you going to be keeping on a couple of things? Are you going to be keeping on Tash for the rest of the day? Also, your husband has a similar hairstyle to me. Is he growing his Tash during this very important period?
Well, I assume it's a requirement that I keep the stash through the rest of the day, and it'll be a great conversation point, because if people say, why are you doing that? I can say, look, we're part of the Movember campaign, and personally I'm a part of this because I have a family member who's suffering from prostate cancer, and so if I can help raise funds towards that cause, I want to help. And this is a very fun way that we get to be involved. We get a stash designed by Marshall Wayne himself. And then secondly, as far as my husband goes, he already has a goatee. He has a gorgeous hairstyle just like you. And he has a goatee, and I'm not letting him shave off the bottom portion to have the stash. But you know what? He may do it anyway.
Cool. Let's have a call to action for this donation. So all you need to do, click the link below this video, click the donate button, $25, get your own digital stash from Marshall, and maybe you're just going to want to grow your own too, and just feel fantastic as I do. In fact,
don't believe any bubbles that would help you feel otherwise.
Honestly, Vanessa, there are no bubbles going around at the moment at all. Vanessa, thank you very much for coming on the show today. And appreciate your time, and keep up the amazing work. And guys, come back to marketingformovember.com, and we'll see you in another top marketing video. Take it easy.
Ciao, beijos.